What is up, everyone? Welcome to Fantasy Tomorrow. As we approach week 1, it's time for us to do a rundown of some of the injuries to watch going into the week, my top 5 waiver claims for this week, some of my favorite matchups and least favorite matchups, and my favorite and least favorite players. So let's go ahead and just jump right into this. Let's start with those injuries to watch out for this week. First off, Carson Wentz, quarterback for the Indianapolis Colts. Now, he is tracking to play in week 1, which is good news for the entire Colts offense. So while you may not be starting Wentz himself, it is good news for Jonathan Taylor, those pass catchers there in Indianapolis, for all of that offense. It's good news that he's going to be available. Now, Saquon Barkley is another one to pay attention to, of course, running back for the Giants. Now, he is reportedly close to being ready to play, but we will need to keep an eye on him as the week progresses to see whether he is actually going to be able to suit up. Now, DeAndre Swift, running back for the Detroit Lions, is another one that we should be concerned about. Dan Campbell, his head coach, is concerned about his availability for week 1, and unless something changes, it's very likely that Swift could easily miss the opener. Now, Stefon Diggs, wide receiver for the Buffalo Bills, is suffering from a knee injury that we don't know a whole lot about. We know he's participating in some warm-ups in the preseason, but he didn't play, so we need to watch him. And similar thing with Justin Jefferson, wide receiver for the Minnesota Vikings. He's dealing with a shoulder issue, but signs point to him getting better. He was participating in warm-ups in the preseason, but we'll definitely need to watch his status. Now, wide receiver for the Jacksonville Jaguars, DJ Chark, he's dealing with that broken finger that he had to have surgery on, but Urban Meyer said that he is on track to playing week 1, which is good news. Hunter Henry, tight end for the New England Patriots, is managing a shoulder injury. And as we look at the week, we are going to have to keep an eye on his practices, which will be telling whether he will be available or not. And then finally, Evan Engram, tight end for the New York Giants, is dealing with a recent calf injury. Now, Engram is reportedly a long shot to play in the opener, so definitely something to keep in mind as we set our lineups this week. Now, let's move into my top 5 waiver wire pickups for this week. Now, first off is Tevin Coleman, running back for the New York Jets. Now, this is because he's going to be the lead back for the Jets in week 1, making him someone whose value could absolutely skyrocket after week 1 if he's able to produce. Now, second is Rhamondre Stevenson, running back for the Patriots. He could work his way into the rotation with Damian Harris and could be a breakout star if things go right, so I kind of like the idea of grabbing him and holding on to him. And then Tyson Williams is my third guy. He's running back for the Baltimore Ravens. Without knowing how that Ravens backfield is going to shake out after the J.K. Dobbins injury, it's worth a shot to take a shot on Williams, and it could be a wise move. Now, number 4 for me is Rondale Moore, wide receiver for the Arizona Cardinals. He could prove to be an explosive piece in that offense who really could just explode in the near future. And he could be a popular add as soon as he does have one of those boom performances, so I'm okay with grabbing him maybe a week or 2 early. And then finally, my 5th guy is Cole Kmet, tight end for the Chicago Bears. He's a bit of a sleeper tight end who's available in most leagues, and he could see a high target share in week 1 as a dump-off option for Andy Dalton as they're going against Aaron Donald and the Rams. So I kind of like Kmet this week, and I like you to grab that guy and stash him before he actually has that big performance. Now let's move into my favorite and least favorite matchups. Now, my favorite matchup for this week is the 49ers going up against the Detroit Lions. Now, Kyle Shanahan, coach for the 49ers, has had plenty of time to scheme a foolproof offense for this matchup against a Lions team that is in the middle of a rebuild. That should add up to a game where the 49ers offense should be able to run wild. Of course, you should start Kittle, Ayuk, and Mostert, but I think this could be a week where Deebo Samuels and even Trey Sermon could really be viable flex options. Now, my least favorite matchup for this week is the Dolphins going up against the Patriots. Now, it really may take some time for the Dolphins offense to find its groove this season, and it isn't going to be helped by a matchup against a revitalized Patriots defense. With Will Fuller missing week 1 to a suspension and an unknown running back rotation, I wouldn't feel comfortable starting any Dolphins player this week. Now, let's move on to my favorite and least favorite players for week 1. My favorite player for week 1 is Raheem Mostert, running back for the San Francisco 49ers. As I noted earlier, the 49ers should be able to run wild against the Lions, and will have a very run-heavy scheme due to their likely having a lead in the third and fourth quarters. The volume and matchup should add up to a game where Mostert could find himself finishing as a top 5 running back this week. Now, my least favorite player for week 1 is Ezekiel Elliott, running back for the Dallas Cowboys. Now, he's facing the Buccaneers front 7, and that is already a daunting task. But facing it without his starting guard, Zach Martin, makes it even worse. It's easy to imagine a game where Tampa dominates the line of scrimmage, takes an early lead, and forces Dallas into a pass-heavy game plan to catch up. Any of those dominoes falling would seriously hurt Elliott's fantasy production this week. Alright guys, so here is a review of the rundown. And if you would like, you can download your own copy of this to help you as you prepare for week 1. But guys, please subscribe for more league-winning fantasy advice, and drop us a comment and drop us a like and interact with us, ask us questions, and we'll give you more specific fantasy advice for your team if you ask us for it. And you can also ask us questions over on Facebook and on Twitter, so go check us out over there as well. And check out our other channel, Pretty Smart Sports, where we're giving you all sorts of information about your favorite sports. But guys, thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next time.